Bow: Path of the Teal Lotus is a hand-drawn 2D Metroidvania from Squidshock Studios that will immediately invoke the likes of Hollow Knight, as well as the recently released Nine Souls. But Bow's Japanese folklore-inspired setting and laser-focused dedication to precision platforming absolutely set it apart. You take control of Bow, a newly born flower-animal hybrid known as a Tentai Hana in the land of Strange Garden. After learning to use your magical transforming earrings as a staff, you barely have enough time to get your bearings before witnessing a massive skeletal titan crash down from the heavens. With that literal looming threat in the background, you'll explore the land, meet its denizens, and learn what your part is to play in its possible salvation. Despite the very real existential threat roaming the lands, the people of Strange Garden are generally blissful, and I quickly took a liking to many of the random NPCs I'd encounter. Much of the game's quest design is directly tied to Bow just doing favors for these people, eventually earning their respect and adoration. It's a distinctly different tone than many other games in the space. I competed in a flying sumo tournament with Beetlemen, and helped a fox bride and groom make it to their wedding, all of which were endearing encounters that taught me much about the values and cultures of the world, which helped pivotal reveals land effectively once the narrative threads started coming together in the third act. Gameplay-wise, Bow plants a flag in the ground squarely in the camp of platforming. While you early on gain access to abilities like a dash, a double jump is only possible after having struck an object or enemy with your staff, and even basic level navigation will test your competence with this skill. Many encounters with enemies hinge on platforming prowess, forcing you to be mindful of your positioning more so than reacting to enemy patterns. This is most evident in the boss battles, which are harrowing tests of spatial awareness and dexterity. Each one felt unique and tailored around specific skills you need to hone for the areas to come. Active abilities called Daruma and passive ones in the form of Omamari talismans round out Bow's combat options, granting him unique powers like a flamethrower, or passive effects like more potent healing from your renewable tea kettle. Later abilities like a grapple gun or glide only compound the complexity of the trials you'll face ahead, but additionally makes earlier areas you might have struggled in far easier to backtrack to, and I really like that tangible sense of progression. The game almost ensures some level of ping-ponging between the various corners of the map, as NPCs you run into give you quests in other zones, though the map is not nearly as expansive as something like Hollow Knight, and fast travel is a welcome option you get access to early on. The hub area Sakura City is a noticeable highlight of the game's painterly art style, but several areas are gloriously picturesque, and I was happy to return to them often over my 16-hour playtime. I had some small annoyances with how checkpointing functions, as some longer platforming sections can reset a lot of progress for a single mistake. The late game also serves up boss encounters that zoom the screen out so wide it's easy to lose sight of Bow's positioning, leading to frustrating deaths. These are, however, easily forgivable. Bow: Path of the Teal Lotus is remarkably rewarding. It manages to feel like a refreshing Metroidvania experience despite including many of the popular traits and mechanics of the day. Its story is subtly impactful, and anyone with a love of the platforming genre should give this a look. The game is out now for $19.99 on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I know, I'm raving yet again about another hand-drawn 2D Metroidvania, with a tiny cute critter protagonist and super challenging gameplay. Clearly I have a type. But I think it's more than that, because I do get worn down on gameplay and experiences that feel too similar. It just so happens that Nine Souls and Bow: Path of the Teal Lotus borrow a ton from Hollow Knight, but stuck to and expanded on something specific. Parry combat for Nine Souls and precision platforming for Bow. They're both much smaller experiences lengthwise as well. Maybe that's a good rule of thumb when chasing the success of a mega hit. Take inspiration, but make it your own. And for God's sakes, start small.